Supersucker unit is designed to vacuum wet and dry materials through hose 8 inches in diameter and smaller. The unit incorporates a positive displacement Roots-type vacuum pump to generate airflow up to 6,000 CFM and 28 inches of mercury. Material enters the collector body through an intake port. As the material enters the collector body, major separation of the material from the airstream occurs. The airstream then continues through the centrifugal separator where remaining material is separated from the airstream. The separator then evenly directs the airstream to both bag houses where the air is filtered to 1 micron. The clean air is then pulled through the vacuum pump and discharged through the exhaust silencer. This video has been designed to aid you in operating and servicing the unit. Many of the items shown on the units in this video are optional. This video is not a replacement for the operation manuals that come with the unit. Please refer to the manual for specific details, specifications, and safety information. When raising and lowering the collector body, make sure that the parking brake is engaged. The unit is on level firm ground, and there are no overhead obstructions. The Supersucker uses a transfer case to deliver engine power to the vacuum pump. The transfer case also drives the hydraulic pump. When the transfer case is engaged to drive the hydraulic pump and/or the vacuum pump, the chassis cannot be driven because the transfer case has disengaged the main drive line from powering the rear axles. To engage the transfer case and operate the unit, park the vehicle on stable, level ground with no overhead obstructions. Set the parking brake. With the chassis engine running at idle and full air pressure built up, push the clutch pedal in. Put the transmission in high range and reverse. The transmission must be put in reverse on initial engagement to prevent damage to the transmission. With the clutch pedal depressed, pull up on the transfer case shift lever labeled Rear Axle Engaged Disengaged. This lever engages the hydraulic pump and disengages the main drive line from the transfer case to the rear axles. Once the handle is fully engaged, slowly let the clutch pedal all the way up. Depress the clutch pedal again and put the transmission in 9th gear if the unit is equipped with a 10-speed transmission. For all other transmissions, the gear that provides a 1-to-1 ratio should be selected. Let the clutch pedal up slowly. The main hydraulic functions on the unit will now operate and the rear axle disengaged light on the dash is activated. Prior to engaging the vacuum pump, confirm that the vacuum inlet to the unit is open and that any vacuum relief valves the unit is equipped with are open. To engage the vacuum pump, push the clutch pedal in and pause to allow the drive shaft to stop turning. Raise the transfer case shift lever labeled Vacuum Pump Engaged Disengaged. When the handle is fully engaged, raise the clutch pedal slowly. Once the clutch pedal is released, the vacuum pump begins turning. The main control cabinet, including the hydraulic levers, is located behind the cab on the driver's side of the unit. The control cabinet houses the unit's gauges along with several switches. The vacuum gauge shows vacuum in inches of mercury. The tachometer registers vacuum pump RPM and also has an integral hour meter built in. Refer to this tachometer to regulate vacuum pump speed. The vacuum pump exhaust temperature gauge registers the temperature of the vacuum pump exhaust air. The sending unit for the gauge is located in the base of the exhaust silencer. To engage the remote throttle system, move the switch labeled Remote Throttle to the on position. This switch activates the throttle system into the vacuum unit only mode, and it also locks the engine fan into the on position. To initially activate the engine RPM, tap the throttle switch in the slow position. Hold the throttle switch in the fast position to increase engine RPM. Hold the switch in the slow position to decrease the engine RPM. The vacuum relief switch opens and closes the optional electric vacuum relief valve. The filter pulsing switch engages the filter bag cleaning system. Turn the filter pulsing switch on whenever the unit is vacuuming. The electric vibrator switch activates the optional electric vibrator. The vibrator is located underneath the collector body. Activate the vibrator as needed when dumping material out of the body. The panel light switch activates the panel lights. The hydraulic levers operate the opening, closing, and latching of the tailgate and the raising and lowering of the collector body. Additional handles may be present to operate optional items such as sludge pumps, washdown systems, and the pneumatic unloading system. The body hoist handle raises and lowers the collector body. Pull to raise and push to lower. The first tailgate handle raises and lowers the tailgate. Pull to raise and push to lower. The second tailgate handle locks and unlocks the tailgate latch system. Pull to unlock and push to lock. The tailgate needs to be unlatched prior to raising the tailgate. The optional handle shown is for pneumatic unloading. This handle activates the auger in the pneumatic unloading tailgate. The optional auger speed control is located adjacent to the main hydraulic control handles. This speed control regulates the auger RPM. The optional manual vacuum relief is used to relieve vacuum and to also vent air into the airstream under certain vacuuming situations. The vacuum pump has two oil-level sight glasses located on the driver's side of the pump, one located on the rear end of the pump and the other on the front end of the pump. Oil levels should be checked with the unit off and parked on level ground. Oil levels should be at the center of the sight glasses. Refer to the owner's manual for oil type and service intervals. The vacuum pump has two silencers attached to it, one for intake air and one for exhaust air. As the pump runs, air is exhausted out of the exhaust silencer. As the pump demands intake air, it will pull air through the intake port on the intake silencer. The vacuum pump is coupled to the transfer case via a drive shaft. The drive shaft guard has two access points located on the passenger side of the guard for greasing the drive shaft. Refer to the owner's manual for grease type and greasing intervals. The vacuum connection from the body to the vacuum pump is located above and to the rear of the control cabinet. By raising and lowering the collector body, this connection is opened and closed. There is a stainless steel final filter screen located below this connection that can be pulled out and cleaned if required. The large side door on the baghouse allows for visual access into the baghouse area. This door also enables the operator to retrieve the filter bags during a filter bag changeout. Do not open this door when the unit is running or when the filter pulsing system is turned on. The air tank drain valve allows for draining any accumulated moisture from the filter pulsing system air tank. Purge daily. Always use the collector body prop when going under a raised collector body. To engage the prop, raise the body high enough so that the prop can be fully raised. Bring the body down until it just seats in the prop. To lower the prop, raise the body high enough to enable lowering the prop into its transport location. Secure the prop down with the rubber strap. The optional electric vibrator is located under the collector body. Refer to the manual for maintenance requirements. The body lift cylinder is a power-up, power-down 3-stage cylinder. The cylinder will lift the body to a 51-degree dump angle. There are 3 grease fittings for the cylinder, 2 located at the top mount location and 1 located at the bottom pivot point. Refer to the owner's manual for greasing intervals and maintenance intervals. The transfer case is located between the frame rails behind the vacuum pump. An oil level sight glass is located on the lower front passenger side of the case. Oil level should be kept at the midway point of the sight glass. Refer to the owner's manual for lubrication specifications and maintenance intervals. The hydraulic pump is bolted directly to the transfer case and is spline driven. The micro switch located at the rear side of the transfer case is activated when the handle in the cab, labeled rear axle engaged/disengaged, is raised. The micro switch activates the rear axle disengaged light on the dash and sends power to the control cabinet. The sending unit threaded into the top of the transfer case sends the signal to the tachometer in the control cabinet to monitor vacuum pump speed.